Hello everyone, welcome to week 5. My name is Amy Settlemyer and I'm going to do a tutorial on chapter 2, problems 11 through 13. Problem 11 says, Carmen Camry operates a consulting firm called Help Today, which began operations on December 1st. On December 31st, the company records show the following selected accounts and amounts for the month of December. And then it lists all the accounts with their balances. Then it says, use the above information to prepare a December income statement for the business. So an income statement is going to show revenues and expenses that were made over a period of time. So the first thing we want to do is label this for the month ended December 31st. And then we're going to find our revenues and our expenses. So add those labels. And then come up here and find anything that could be considered revenue, which would be professional fees and consulting revenue, which we have here. And this is our only revenue for this problem, so we're going to go ahead and input the consulting revenue under the revenue column. And then we go down to expenses. So up here we have a rent expense, salaries expense, telephone expense, and miscellaneous expense. So we input all of those under the expenses column. So rent, salaries, telephone, and miscellaneous. And then we input all of those amounts, and your numbers are going to be different than mine. So input all of those. And then after you get all of your revenues, it adds up the total right here, and all of your expenses are right here. And if your revenues are greater than your expenses, like mine are, then you're going to have a net income. And if you have more expenses than revenue, then you're going to have a net loss. So we take the total revenue amount minus the total expenses, and we get a net income. For me, that's 10,640. And that's everything for the income statement. We're going to use this amount that we got for our net income on the next financial statement, which is the statement of retained earnings. And for the retained earnings, we're going to track the changes from the beginning to the end to see if anything's affected equity amounts, retained earnings. And so this is also going to be for a period of time. So we click for the month ended December 31st. And since the business started on December 1st, our beginning retained earnings balance is going to be 0. And then we add our net income from the previous page, which for me was 10,640. And then we're going to subtract any dividends, so less dividends. And then we come up here and we find how much was paid out in dividends. Oops. Which for me is 5,940. And it calculates for us. This is going to be our retained earnings on December 31st. So after we find our retained earnings, we're going to use this amount on our next financial statement, which will be the balance sheet. And the balance sheet is a record of all the assets, liabilities, and equity for a point in time. So we want to label it as of December 31st. We're going to put our assets on this side and our liabilities and our equity on this side. Then we go up here and we find all of our assets. So that's going to be our cash, accounts receivable, office supplies, office equipment, and our land. So input all of these accounts under the assets. Cash, which was we have accounts receivable, and office supplies, office equipment, and land. Next we go to our liabilities, and for this example we only have one liability. If it says payable at the end, like notes payable or wages payable, those are going to be liabilities. But for this question, we only have one liability, which is accounts payable. And enter that amount. And our equity is our common stock, which is this number right here for me. And then this is where our retained earnings goes. So from the last page, whenever you figured out how much your retained earnings were, you're going to enter that amount. And if you've done everything right, your total liabilities and equity right here is going to equal your total assets. And as you can see, they both match, so it looks like we've done everything correctly. Hope this helps, and if you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks for watching. Bye.